Hey, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to make our blocks actually be destroyed when the ball hits them, rather than just loading a level. So let's take a look at how we're going to do that. If you pop into your brick script, you'll recall that we already publicly exposed a maximum hits variable. We're not using it yet. If you look in Unity, under prefabs in the inspector, against the script, you'll see a maximum hits number exposed there, which should already be set to 1 for the yellow, meaning it's going to be destroyed immediately it's hit, 2 for green means it goes on the second hit, and 3 for red. So in this video, what we're going to be doing is discussing how the destroy method works, explaining why we destroy game object and not this, and then I'm going to challenge you to only destroy it when the maximum number of hits are met. So back into our script then. Let's get rid of this simulate win line. We don't need that anymore. That's gone. What we're going to do is firstly think, well, what are we going to destroy? Well, I'll tell you for a start that the keyword we need is destroy. Now let's go to Unity's docs for destroy. Here they are. They're expecting to destroy an object. It's object.destroy, and there's no example available. So what have we got? There's two possibilities maybe. One would be this, which is a brick, actually not an object, and another would be game object, which is actually what we're looking for. So you need to destroy game object. If you try and destroy this, it won't work because this is a brick and game object is actually the object you're looking for. All right, so just remember when you destroy game object, and save your script and let's try it.
Hey there, Sam here with a quick post-recording edit, just to let you guys know that if you see any issues like the ball carrying on regardless after it's just destroyed a brick, then what's going on is that your brick is getting destroyed too soon, and that basically means that the ball has no time to register that it's collided with a brick and so to bounce off it. So if that happens to you, the fix for this is to use on-collision exit instead of on-collision enter, because this means the ball will have already bounced off the brick, and at that point, you're safe to destroy the brick. So if you've encountered that problem, just make that little tweak.
That's good. So it's a start. Right now the bricks are being destroyed. Now, of course, the green bricks are being destroyed on one hit, and that's because we haven't told the system to do anything different to that. But at least we have our first inkling of a working Arkanoid clone. So congratulations on that bit. Now what I want you to do as a challenge is I want you to put an if statement around the destroy line, line 24 on my screen, and I want you to make sure that the brick is only destroyed when you get to maximum hits. So to be clear, yellow bricks should destroy immediately as they are, but green bricks should only destroy on the second hit, and if that's working, red bricks should work as well. So test that by playing, pop a couple of red bricks in the scene, and make sure that all of that works. So please pause the video and put that simple if statement around the outside of the destroy line now. Cool, and welcome back. So look, this is how I'm doing it. I'm going to say if, and I always do my brackets and my curly brackets first. Of course, the second curly brace needs to go under destroy. Now, this is only a single line code block here. You can write it if you wish, like this, if something destroy, but I would really prefer you were in the habit of always using code blocks, because if you do this, the temptation could be to do that, which is also okay if some condition destroy the game object. But then if you go and write some other line here, that will not get executed inside the if. It will get executed outside the if, i.e. this will always be executed because you've basically indented wrongly, and you should have indented like so, and the if statement is separate. So look, that's all bloody confusing. So what I like to do is immediately that I write the word if, I use curly braces immediately so that I know I'm dealing with a code block. If I want to add another line here, it's going to work as we expect. All right, so if something destroy the game object, well, if what? Well, it's got to do with times hits and max hit. Times hit starts at 0. So if times hit is equal to max hits, we destroy the object, right? So in the beginning it's 0, and for the green block, or the yellow block rather, the max hits is 1. So this doesn't occur and it doesn't destroy. And then when it hits 1, it will destroy. Let's test it. Okay, so we have cannot explicitly convert type int to bool on line 17. So bool is to do a boolean. It's a yes, no, true, false, and int is an integer. So, sorry, line 25. So you double click on that error and it'll take you to the line. Another way of finding the error is to go to build and build all, and it will show you the error straight away. The problem is I'm using equals. It's actually equals equals. You do a comparison with equals equals. Equals itself alone is an assignment. It was trying to set max hits into times hit. Okay, and then that was the result of that was an integer, and it was expecting a boolean. Very confusing. So equals equals for a comparison, please. Let's try again. Okay, hit 2 blocks at once. There you go. So the yellow blocks appear to be working, but that's not surprising because they were working before. Now let's see the green blocks when it finally hit one. Now these boring play loops that we can get in like this, we're going to fix those later. For now, I'm just going to start the game again because it got into what I call a boring play loop. Let's just try again. What we're aiming to do is hit a green block and then see, there you go, 1 hit on that green block. Now to test it, I would like to hit the same green block again, so can be a little bit tedious, but at least you're getting to play your game. That's interesting. I'm not entirely sure which block I hit, so you're just going to have to potentially play this a few times. There you go. If you get it up in that gap, then that's great. So now we're hitting all of these blocks once. It's here to test us. It doesn't want us to see what happens if we hit a green block twice. I think every single green block on the top there, or practically all of them, got hit. So in a minute, we're going to get our way and we're going to get a second hit on a green block. Oh my God, it's here to test my patience. Are we ever going to hit a green block again? Ah, wow, at last, and it gets destroyed. So it works. Fantastic. That's great news. So what I would like to do, rather than say equals equals, is I would like to say, let's go greater than or equals. Why? Well, imagine that in future we extend the behavior and we have some super ball or something that has the effect of hitting a brick twice. You could completely skip the limit. You could have had 1 hit initially and then suddenly 3 or 4 or 5, and then you would never equal it. So if we go greater than or equals, we're guarding against the situation in which we end up with more hits than the max hits. Hope that makes sense. So greater than or equals, just in case we skip over max hits. And in that instance, we are going to destroy the game object. So it works. That's great. What I want to do now is pop a red brick into the scene. So I'm going to go to my prefabs. I like to do that by dropping it onto the hierarchy node into the scene, because then it will end up somewhere. Actually in the correct place. Now, what have I done here? Why does this look weird? Because I'm on the start menu scene. It's indicated at the top of the screen, right? Common mistake. So take it out of the start menu scene, go into the level that you want to test with. Yeah. Now drag your prefab into the hierarchy and it arrives in a predefined place. That's great. I'm going to move it holding down Control or Command to somewhere that I can hit it lots, like there. And I'm going to test that this red brick behaves as we expect. Ready? There's no music in this case because I started directly on this scene. I'm going to stop and try again, just because I can't. Oh, this is tedious. Okay, so it's quite tedious to test these things sometimes, but it's in the early days it's not a bad thing to be having to test your code a lot, because you're play testing while you do it. So what I'm going to do to make this easier is I'm just going to let's think of the quickest way. Maybe the quickest way actually is to take my top row of bricks here and duplicate it, move it up a little bit like so, and then I could replace them all. Well, I'm just going to cheat. I'm not going to replace the prefabs. I'm going to just set the max hits of the green bricks. If I want to, I can set them to a red color as well. Doesn't really make any difference, except that my color picker refuses to stay open. So let's not bother changing the color, just has changed actually to gray. So these are gray bricks that have a 3-hit maximum. I'm actually going to put 1 more on the top here, just so the ball can't escape. And what I'm going to aim to do is fire the ball up this gap. Oh, failed. Let's try again. I'm going to try and fire it up the gap, which is probably easier said than done. There we go. Boom. There you go. You can see. I mean, I didn't really count there, but I'm pretty confident that it's 3 hits and that after 3 hits it's going. And again, we're in a boring loop, which we'll sort out later. Cool. So I'm going to take out my extraneous top row there because it's kind of ugly. Save the scene. And that's it. That is how you destroy objects when you exceed the maximum number of hits. We have more work to do, but hey, this is a good piece of progress. So congratulations, and see you soon.